Yeah, it's Anya's to a lesser extent.
It's very fortunate I accidentally did not hit the start recording button. Whoops.
It is. It is. It is. It is. All right. You know what? Let's take 5. Let's figure this out first, because otherwise I want to lose my mind.
You're gonna lose your mind.
Anya, relax. Get this sorted. Okay, so, uh, could you please stream your screen, specifically in regards to Discord, if that's okay?
I will take your liver. And we're back.
I have found the weak spot.
I don't care. Sorry.
Last time on Transformers Beast Wars, we had a little bit of a different session than usual. This one much more akin to classic interrogations. We started with Zycria, and going through Fellwinter's of what was assumably once a magnificent mansion, instead took you to a memory, or at least an idea of one. Outside the fields of Port Asabrun, we saw that there was a festival. We saw that there was a festival happening, of which a religion that you are currently ingratiated within. You joined in the fight with Luciana, at least this is what you told Fellwinter, to avoid getting the shit beat out of you to death. Which is fair. Respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said you were figuring some stuff out, and Fellwinter kind of went off on a tangent of balance and what it means. Apparently did not appreciate zealotry at all.
Loser.
And you watched as the memory, or at least again, the imagery, the vision of one day grew later and later, and then all that would remain would be snow and ice under a darkened sky. The next one was Andros, which we'll do this session. We had a little bit of an interlude, if you would, after Andros came out, with the now understanding that Reverence believed the catacombs of Nerevar were maybe built for defense, apologies, and Zycria coming out as an occultist. Nothing more, even though it is Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
We also learned the disturbing fact that the bookshelves ate the flumps.
That was like, I'm sorry, like genuinely, I don't mind any of the shit with Luciana or all of that. That's fine. The fact that you just killed off the flumps.
That's
That is
horrible.
what makes you an evil TM. That is what
Exactly.
makes you evil. Not
Bro,
Aren,
he was
not
beautiful.
the horrors of killing, like the implications of Luciana fucking murking a topaz dragon in a very horrific fashion.
He had a
None of it.
family.
No, it's the flumps. It's
Ooh.
the
flumps.
flumps.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just
the next one was Oswald. On the
We had a
seaside
nice civil
cliff-
conversation, and nothing bad was spoken between the two of us.
on the seaside cliffs of Comering, seeing the floating city of Sekmol for the first time. Good work. Discussed a little bit of the Luciana situation, and Fellwinter accused you of being stuck between a sense of justice and a hero complex. And you two went back and forth for quite a decent amount of time. Both of you having interpretations of one another that may or may not be accurate. Both of you having biases against one another. And both of you somewhat right and somewhat wrong. A little bit more so on Fellwinter's side on the wrongs of the wrong, but nonetheless, no one ever said that Aren was known for wizard's humility. After Oswald storming out, there was one with reverence. The location being a boat in the Malfur River of Nerevar. Reverence saying continuously that he's not a revolutionary, despite later in this vision showing that he was a revolutionary for smuggling several people out of a city held under siege.
Fuck 'em.
We don't talk about that. Semantics.
No, it makes you cool.
Learned that Felwinter used to be a court wizard for someone. The easiest assumption is, of course, Vihar, considering how old Felwinter is.
It adds up. The numbers add up.
Sure.
Fellas, please, you gotta hear this.
Now, back in the office itself, you learned that Luciana cannot be arrested for the Brentwin stuff. However, she can get arrested for breaking and entering into Felwinter's office and trespassing, and by extension of that, and assaulting a college student, but needed one of you to pose as a college student.
Can't she also be
That's
arrested?
Andros.
She did verbally say she was a cultist, and can't people be arrested for that too?
She didn't say what a cultist of, so no.
Yeah, I think like there's freedom of religion and all that shit.
If she said one
Freedom.
of the if she said one of the tarnished gods, it would have been a different story entirely. But she just said she was a cultist.
Dude, tell freedom to the people of
Introduce
Telmetron. I don't think they
yourself
care
as the
about
cult of
freedom.
Vanderbilt to us.
To you guys,
Yes.
Brentman stuff.
Fuck. Ugh.
Now, Felwinter himself wanted you to stick around for a day or two at Nerevar, because he might have a job for you. Something up everyone's alley, whether or not it is money or strong notions of heroism and justice. The platinum side of it would be 500 platinum apiece. Quite a lot. Maybe more. He doesn't know. Now, after that, you went to leave. Felwinter gave you an idea of where the astronomy or astrology guilds are in Nerevar, being the Palizane Theater. Was it the theater? I thought it was the...
You said it was a theater. You said it was a theater. I don't know.
Where is my play?
Go back to bed.
Mm.
Don't go back. Anyway, Zychria is staying behind to question Luciana. Now, Yvel chose to leave, and Luciana's interrogation essentially wasn't the greatest. You learned some information that the cult she worked with in the catacombs were the cult of Levistus. Apparently, she killed them. Now, she used the cult's fanaticism to aid her own ambitions, and promised she'd talk with her benefactor of arranging permanent plane traveling spells. She wanted muscle for a job of hers, that being the job, you're not sure, and to counteract the so-called heroes of Brentwin or potential successors to them. Zychria looked at her payment, or got her payment, I forget, and then outside of Felwinter's,
She said we'd be taken to the room, remember?
yes. Zychria got Felwinter's ticket to the Celestine Inn.
With a pool.
And Reverence went off to meet up with his contact. Any question?
And Zychria got her fucking shoelace slipped, but who knows if anyone saw that.
Alright,
No questions.
there's no questions. We'll jump in by going back in time.
Gotta go back in time.
Wanna have sex with you.
That's not how the
Whoa,
song
whoa,
goes.
whoa, whoa,
I just
whoa.
remember this. I remember the song. I remember a different song. I think it's "Obsessed with You" by the Orion Experience or something. I forget. Regardless, we're going back in time
The Orion experience, yes.
Good save.
to
Gotta get back.
Back
A
to the
singular-
past. Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack.
a singular scene, an event, if you will, when Andros stepped inside of the doorway. Yeah, we're going that far back. It's a session.
A happening, if you will.
Now, step into a best thing to say would be darkened expanse. Cold, almost feels lonely. for in hearing the sound of rain. You realize, Andros, that you are stood in the crowd section of looking at a stage as rain falls around you. And you see across that stage are two forms. A bit hard to make out, though you know them intimately. One being the tall, resplendent figure of Cassius, or as you now know, Remakath. The other... Well, how would you describe that other person, Andros?
A lot smaller, more like frail bodied.
Yeah. A bit hunched over, a little bit tired. And from the sound, though muted it may be, of the piece, you can tell this is, well, not even tell, you remember that this is the 4th hour.
Mm.
But regardless, Felwinter turns away from it, stepping in. Turns to you. That was quite a performance. The books saw everything, and the capacity for magical talent, well, good showing.
Mm. Thank you. What are we doing here?
Something significant to you? Not to me. I don't remember performing for one of their ilk.
What are the
It has
what?
been a long life. Sorry, repeat that again, please.
One of the what?
Ilk, kind, group, demographic.
Mm.
As you stood there watching, pause before. So, I suppose the question remains. And he's staring intently at you. How long is it that you have been lying? Not about the changeling conundrum. I'm more curious as to how long you've been lying that you're satisfied. One show, one performance after the next. When does it end?
I don't believe I even claim to be satisfied. Because I know personally that I will not. I won't.
So what is this hunger? This ambition? Does it have an end goal? Or is it directionless?
Practice and power. Fine-tuning an instrument for as long as it takes. Complete a certain task of mine.
So where does Andros end and Remakath start? Any further, and you might find yourself on a different path from the rest of them. The rest of us.
Rimakath ends when I find my parents. Find my home. That's when I know I can either continue performing solely there or stop entirely and have nothing to do with it. That's where Rimakath ends.
So a wooden ambition, a brittle one, plated in gold. A mask of decadence and luxury, every twist and turn to present pleasure and wealth. You remind me of a friend. And for every twist, the shape of them became more and more intangible until there wasn't anything left to go back to or talk to. or even remember.
Who is his friend?
Long time ago now. Some young, stubborn fool that thought the world would bend because he barked. What is it you know of the Feywild? The realm of the Fey, whichever one you wish to subject to that title.
Not as much as I should given the circumstance, but
Hmm.
I'd say a solid enough.
Right. Because the conundrum here, the issue, is that most stories, folk stories, tales of various common folk is that you can simply just take a wrong twist and you're there. And most assume that the way to the Feywild, or the Shadowfell, is with a few wrong turns. They forget that worse and worse choices lead to worse and worse forks in the road. Eventually there are no choices left but bad ones. And bad ones don't have to be things that directly harm you or others. They can just be things that change you. I think you would find unending life extremely boring. He's looking off at the stage, just a 1,000-yard stare. Continue wearing the mask of Rimakath and, well, continue on your path to being a little more than a violinist of the material plane. There's no family when you're centuries old. There's no friends. There's just time. Time to go by with nothing to fill it. Do you sit there in silence, or do you have anything more to say?
I think, yeah, I just sit there in silence for a little bit.
Eventually, the blurredness of the sound begins to quicken, becoming just one monotonous noise. That Felwinter goes to stand and rewraps the robes around him. I think, when your journey's said and done, I think I might stop by this Celestine before I go. I'd hope to hear your violin there as opposed to the courts. Let's be off. More questions, more people to question.
Yeah, let's be off. And Andros gives a look back to him and Rimakath on the stage. Let's be
Passive
off.
perception?
Um, give me 1 second. I'm still kind of arguing with this app.
You're okay.
It is 13.
As you walk away, it's almost as if you feel two stares into your back. You look back and the other two figures aren't looking at you. And you see two splotches of dark, which are just the slightest bit darker than the shadows surrounding them, in the shape of humanoids. And eventually you go. And with that, we cut back to the present.
Oh, it's the cheerful music. Woo!
So, we're going to cut over to Reverence real quick. As you leave the Fellwinter College, where do you head? Where do you wish to head? Aragon is dead.
He's
Sorry
dead, so
about
it's
that.
all-
I apologize, I
killed
was
him.
muted. I would wish to head directly towards the contact. The sooner I get this quick finished, sooner I can fall asleep and eat.
Okay. So, your journey itself will take you southward towards Kuro's Gaze, the middle portion of the city that was reclaimed from the Heartseas district. The Heartseas Palace, though, still remains. How in sync with various crowds are you trying to be? Are you trying to stand out or blend in?
Blend in, there's no reason for him to want to stand out.
Okay. So, as you do so, taking on the mantle of what it is to be a citizen of Upper Waterside, let alone Nerevar, you move forwards, passing by various traveling folk, merchants, and various stalls that wish to sell their wares to the streets of the city, even though this place is not the correct district to do that in. Most people that have money to spend are spending it to have things delivered to their door. Much akin to today's society, who would have guessed? Convenience is hand in hand with wealth. Now, as you move forward, I need you to roll me a perception check.
Okay.
And given what you are doing, with the specific actions you are taking, I need it with advantage.
Oh, good. Because I rolled a 7. Well, I rolled a natural 1, so it's a 7 plus 9.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice. So it's a 16.
16. There's a various Nerevar guard around. So tall in silver armor, complete with blue finishings. And at a certain point, you're kind of scared because you don't have a wristband which signifies you should be in Upper Waterside. And you would know you can't steal one of those. Because when they take your name down, for those they give wristbands out to and reclaim them from, every guard's journal is updated with that name. And
Hands in
you
pockets.
can essentially search for that name within the journal itself by inscribing it on the front page, the name of the person you are currently talking to. And so they would find out pretty quickly you don't have a bracelet. However, with your knowledge of the city, it's not particularly hard to eventually find your way through various back alleys and in between shops and the like, strutting past various people that are downtrodden and suffering, for lack of a better term. You make your way and eventually slip into the district that was once the Heartseas, but is now Kuro's Gaze. And your boots take you towards a abandoned block of houses. Stood tall, 4 stories worth, each one probably containing like a single flat or apartment if you're American. And while it stood tall, it is a rather wide building, akin to like a brownstone of New York and the like. This is the place where you're meant to meet the contact.
Gonna go towards the door and I'm gonna give a signal knock.
There's no response, but that's kind of what you expected. They don't knock back, you knock to them. And looking around once, twice, eventually you steal your way inside. It's darkened hallway before you and stairs up ahead. You know they'll be on probably the 3rd floor. If they're not, it's always a good idea to look at the floor in between. As little you know of the organization you take odd jobs for is that they are very, very prone to doing what essentially is false floors, where between usually 2nd and 3rd floor there is a little pocket about the size for a small creature to fit through, or medium size to squat and talk away from prying eyes.
Well,
As you move up,
I move up.
eventually you take yourself to the 3rd floor. You hear the crackling of fire, and there is a figure with a tattered, ratty poncho, hood draped over their head, all dark colors, dark clothing. Not looking at you. Thankfully, it might have given you a little bit of scare if they were.
Hello.
Oh, I see. Sent you. And turning around is what appears to be an Eladrin. Can't quite tell gender, so best to stick with theys. Very much a featureless face mask. The only reason you can tell they're an Eladrin is because of the elven pointed ice white ears and long hands that creep out with patternings of snowflakes upon the back of the palms. Taking the mask off, you see that they have very large, round, almost kind of faded, slightly blue eyes. High eyebrows which peel off the forehead slightly and go to the sides, and a long nose, small mouth.
Would you be AH?
I would. That depends. Is this reverence that I'm talking to, or unfortunately someone with a disguised self, or some other such nonsense? Because I must say, it is quite cold, and I am not particularly in the mood.
Quite cold yourself. He's gonna take off his keeper's symbol. He's gonna set it down, as well as the box,
Mm.
for putting it back on and keeping the box on the table, or in his hand if there is no table.
Right, well, I am a H, but if we're going to be on a first name basis, I suggest we stick with Ariadne.
Ariadne. Do you mind spelling that?
I'll put it in the campaign VC chat. One moment.
Well, it's good to finally meet you in full.
Yes, I've been hearing quite a lot about you from Brennan, and I must admit it has left me curious. So, the box, I'm assuming no trouble?
One trouble. My escape route was through the catacombs, and I was lost for several days. And when we arrived, or when I got out, I found myself in Felwinter's office. The Felwinter.
Yes.
And with his somehow all-knowing physique, he knew I had the box on me. He didn't seem to care too much, but it is one screw-up I have currently.
Well,
Otherwise,
it
everything went with
appears-
carnage. I was not seen by anyone else.
Well, I wouldn't count that as a screw-up so much as a case of extreme luck. We have our hands in a lot of pockets. And you managed to land yourself in one of those pockets. So no harm, no foul. Plus, it is kind of hard to plan for precognition.
He kind of raises his hands up in the air, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do, man. Oof.
We'll say this. If you ever want to annoy him, rings of mind shielding are always helpful. Precognition only works with what it can glean, and it does rely on, from what we can gather, the physical capabilities of the person willingly or unwillingly wielding it.
Well,
I heard he tried to get
my
them banned a
job
few decades ago because he was just getting so annoyed with it.
I don't intend to annoy him too much.
Well, always an
However,
option.
we never fully discussed payment, other than meeting a contact.
Well, that's because Brennan wanted you to have an opportunity, not exactly payment. Though if you need hazard pay, I'm sure I can arrange something within the next day. This was a test run, a trial, something to see if you had what it takes. And should push come to shove, don't run. And consider me impressed. You don't. Which means that, well, if you're interested in being a part of something bigger, we can move you to phase 2.
Doesn't say anything, but he's listening in.
You see, the box you have is one of great importance to us. Not particularly for the box itself, but what lies within, as I'm sure is obvious. Nano Sonda doesn't matter. Location long since lost. But Siddhartha Golem, that is the key to quite a lot of things. And gods fought and men raged underneath their shadows. Some of them decided to make some safety measures. Things to help in times of need. But unfortunately, such items are always lost to time or lost to the hands of people who believe that power should reside with wealth and various other things that you can't take with you when you leave. Siddhartha Golem is an opportunity for Kirkiasma to be free.
Sounds rather violent. Golem, you know.
It is. It is extremely vital. Which is why I am, regardless of whether you and I, or you and we go, I will always be grateful that you have brought it. This is the end to everything. Every little bit of tyranny, of tyrants who wield their wealth, who wield their power, who wield their opportunity.
You're
This
with
is
the
the end
fugue.
of all of that. Well, at least you're not an idiot. Yes, I'm with the fugue. Or rather, I'm a branch of the fugue that is there to help give you a hands up to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one as far as you would see fit to go.
Well, what's the plan now?
The plan is for Felwinter to give you, and supposedly some others, a job. I will approach him, he will approach you, and should you accept, we progress from there. I will say this. No matter what you choose, there will always be room for those who see the error of their ways. There will always be second chances for those who change. Because, well, when I heard that the son of the Lord of Borean decided to turn to a life of smuggling, I was intrigued. I wasn't particularly invested, but I was curious. And, well, my curiosity seems to have evolved into something more. So yes, Felwinter offers you all a job. You and these others that he has seen fit to add into this equation. And from there, we see whether you rise or fall. And if we should help you rise or fall.
Fair enough. I will most likely accept this job unless it's getting yourself killed immediately, but nothing.
I don't need to hear the mights and maybes. I just need to know the answer when the question is asked. And so far, I don't need to ask the question. Make no mistake, it's truth now, right? That's the name I should be using?
Reverence.
Reverence. Well,
Reverence truth. Reverence first, truth last.
then make no mistake. We're not Crucius Ma's enemies. We're not their friends. Simply a means for salvation. It's messy, it gets bloody, it gets dirty. But when it's all said and done, and the ash lingers on the ground, people can look up and for once not see an iron hand and instead see hope. Keep that in mind when you make your choice. But I must be off. The hour is late, and well, the warden has returned, and I would prefer to not catch any undue attention.
Alright, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, R&D. I'm gonna go eat. I haven't done that in a day and a half, so I'll see you, well, more like 2 days now. I'll see you later. And he's gonna start walking out without waiting for another word.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
As he's passing the first door, you're a creepy ass motherfucker. And he's
As,
making way for the Celestine.
absolutely. So, in that time frame, we go back to our other group. Those making their way to the Celestine Inn. As we move back, going into the nightlife of what makes up Nerevar and what makes up Upper Waterside, we move back to you all. Into these cobbled streets, still booming and bustling with various crowds of people. The appears, at least in this district, even when nightfall hits, people are still out and about. See various guards dotted around here and there, but do not interfere from them. At least, not right now.
What's that
And you make your way
supposed to
towards the
mean?
Celestine. Hey?
Are you? What's that supposed to be, pal? Not a threat to us yet. What you hinting at?
What do you mean not right now?
What you got there, friend?
You mean not yet?
Wait. Does Zycree have the bracelets?
Oh no, not
Oh,
not the
fuck.
bracelets, not again.
Does she know?
Does she know?
I will ask.
Yes, you know. Do you know? Yes, but most likely you would also know that you could probably leverage the fact that you've worked for the guards on a job to get
Yeah.
around it all. So, are you making your way back to the Celestine?
We do be walking.
Yeah.
And on the way, Yvel does stop by a component store and purchases a rather large amount of charcoal and various herbs and incense.
Valkyria's gonna
I
get some
couldn't
stuff.
fathom why you would need all of this, but sure, that'll be a couple. Yeah, I forget the price. You
God,
pay
that
the allotted
fucking
amount of gold.
noise.
Devon looks absolutely delighted as he like exits the store
How
with the
many uses of
package.
Find Familiar are you buying?
I've bought 6 uses.
Okay, so 60 gold. Mark that down.
Yeah, I've marked it down last session.
Right. As you make
Valkyria's
your
gonna
way.
go. Oh.
Sorry, Karim?
I'm gonna go and find some stuff to make some more health potions. Well, I'm gonna go buy some stuff.
Absolutely. You know what? We'll jump over to that. So you do find what is essentially a general store, though extravagant and lavish it might be. The architectural design is much more akin to the Athena Parthenos is the best way to describe it. Large, almost like temple-esque building with various pillars and columns and decorative design stretched around it. These resplendent orange banners hang off of it, coming down to the front. You think to yourself, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
But as you go in, it is indeed a general store, though it is on the higher end of things. Various walls are dotted around with items that could help your purchase, or maybe just put you into debt. And seated behind what appears to be a moving counter, if the wheels on the floor are anything to go by, is a large, well, I say large. They are a small creature. But for what a grung is, they are very large. This purple-skinned with green halftones, large bug-eyed grung, wearing a waistcoat and a shirt and a long-sleeved, like, flowing shirt that is just slightly straining at wrist and elbow. And as you move in, yes, well, what can I get you? They lean forward. It's a very creepy, slow, almost reptilian motion.
I just need the plain and simple to make some health potions, just some ingredients if you have any.
A potioneer. Well, how many potions would we be making?
Probably around 3, 4.
Hmm. Bulk purchase?
If I can. And I don't know.
Lesser, greater, superior?
Lesser, I don't really. Not, at least right now, I don't really have for some greater stuff.
The good stuff or the viriline stuff?
What's the price difference?
Viriline we cut with water.
I understand that part, but I'm asking for the price difference.
There is no price difference.
Well, the first one, I guess. You wouldn't happen to have anything for... I think... I'm not feeling too... I think I might have gotten poisoned somewhere back there. Do you have anything for that?
Antitoxins.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second while the DM looks up the price.
She's just rubbing her head. You can feel like
This is
she
why we
feels
should have
off.
a paladin.
Oh wow, it costs the same amount as a lesser healing potion.
I don't know if I can make that one actually. She like whispers to herself.
Well,
Alchemists make them, yeah.
Actually, yeah, okay, yeah. Can they actually? Yeah, without supplies, I believe
Yeah.
I can.
you can make
If
you can make
I
you
don't
can make
need the-
most potions. So you can make most potions, so long as you have the materials for them. Fun enough, alchemy supplies do not mean. I don't believe they tell you can make it like half price. So you essentially need to spend the money to buy them, but it's better than I don't know. Maybe you can haggle your DM into making you buy them in bulk, which is what we're currently doing.
Exactly.
Antitoxins will run you the same
Uh,
as a healing potion.
Yeah, and I believe I can make it myself if you. I don't need the actual made antitoxin either.
Anything else?
I believe
We're
that's
close to
it.
closing, you see.
I'm sorry. I think that's it.
Hmm. Very well.
How much would that be? Exactly.
4 lesser healing potion materials and 1 antitoxin. We're buying in bulk, so we'll say, as opposed to 250 gold, 200.
How about we take off a healing potion and bring it down to 150?
I suppose if you don't have the necessary funds, we can do such a trade.
She nods and she's gonna get her supplies.
And eventually, they are compiled on the counter. You fully knowing how much money 150 gold actually is. Well, it
All
might
of
not be
it.
a lot to these people.
All of
That's
it.
all
It's
of
all
your
my
money
money.
right now.
It's all
Yep,
my
it's all
money.
of your money.
Oh no.
Slide over 150 gold coins.
very, very sad looking.
I will say this: if you would like, considering you are putting over 150, you can attempt to keep a few pieces if you roll me a sleight of hand.
She'll do that.
Okay, roll me that sleight of hand then, please.
That's actually more money than you both currently have. Also, it's really odd that apparently antitoxins can
9.
cure poison.
Well, you beat his 7, so
Ah, thank God. How many
Even.
do I keep?
I'll say you get to keep 5.
Yay!
Yippee!
So,
She's been broke
Purchase is
before.
made.
It's fine.
purchase is made, you leave and head towards the Celestine, and come to the same expanse of old wood which winds around and is slowly, continuously moving. And Zyker, to you, that's a little bit of a sight because you're not used to
Yeah.
these highly magical buildings,
She's just
even in the
staring
other
at
areas
it.
of Nerevar.
She stares
So-
at it for a little bit before she goes in.
Yeah. So, as you all move in, unless someone else wants to do something else.
Yes, actually. Are there any couriers currently open at this hour?
Okay, Kermit.
Miss Piggy is
1
dead.
second. I gotta remember the hour. For this time, no. You'd be better off waking up in the morning and doing it.
Then I shall retire for the day.
As you enter in, the same what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not concierge. The person that stands behind the reception desk. Receptionist. There we go. Why did I call it a concierge? Watching too much John Wick. Stood. Well, you assume they're the same. Stood behind the counter, wearing their long, flowing white robes, hands clasped in front of them, and the same mishmash piece of stained glass, a mask adorning their face and head. Notices you all as you enter, and then places one hand on the counter when seeing Zycria, or at least you assume seeing Zycria. I don't believe I've seen you here before.
It's my first time in here.
Hmm.
I have a ticket. She like pulls it out. She seems she's not really used to talking to people in full fucking mask. Looks a little bit awkward.
Well, Archmage Feldwinter has seen to give you his room. Then that comes with all additional supplements. You are entitled in your stay here to free dining, and should you require it, 3 medical attention. The
I am-
room-
I am poisoned right now. It feels awful.
Hmm. Step closer, please.
She steps closer.
puts one hand upon your shoulder, lightly, loosely, making sure that, you know, you don't think it's gonna grab you and hold on.
She is still nervous anyway.
Yeah. As you hear a voice intone from inside the mask, the word Mart. And do you speak Celestial?
No.
Okay. Regardless, you are cured of your poison condition. By the way, love the roleplay there, because that should have been gone by now. Lasted an
Actually,
hour.
it should have been. I believe it lasts it's
Depends on the
a few,
poison.
Yeah.
For like, for most poison conditions, it does qualify that it lasts an hour unless like you succeed the con save. Which, okay, antitoxins don't actually cure poison. They give you advantage on con saves against being poisoned.
Yeah,
That-
but for the purpose of
Just
this,
like,
we're just
no,
gonna say
I
that.
know. I
Not in
figured
this
that's what you were
universe,
doing, but
you
like,
bitch.
it's so weird.
So-
like, why are they called that?
So you
That's
feel
not an
yourself,
antitoxin then.
you feel yourself restored, and they simply step back and just
They
motion
also
with a hand to the
look-
stairs.
She does look beat up, by the way.
You'll find your room waiting.
She just awkwardly nods. This is just.
Yeah, it's a very awkward interaction. I
Yeah.
wouldn't blame you for doing so. And as you enter in, Oswald coming in, the receptionist holds up a hand. A moment, sir.
Yes, is there an issue?
There is a messenger waiting for you outside of your room.
Currently?
For the past 5 hours, yes. Quite dedicated.
I see. Thank you for informing me.
And so they simply step back and come to a resting position. You gonna go and check out this messenger, Oswald?
No, I'm just gonna walk out and leave him
I mean,
there
you
for
could
all
leave him there for
eternity.
another 5
Aren.
hours.
Leave him for another 5
Okay,
hours.
like,
Let
what if
him
it's someone
cook.
we don't want to see? We just go elsewhere.
Yes, I will go deal with this messenger that you have
Absolutely.
introduced.
Question,
It's
DM.
the devil.
Would it have been possible in our time, finally on the surface, under the fucking light of day, to have figured out how much time has passed since we entered the catacombs?
None at all. You're on the same time frame.
What do you mean, none at all?
Time has passed in the sense that you're on the same day. I'm not.
Okay, so several hours or
Yeah,
so.
same
Okay,
time
I was
frame.
more so wondering about that.
No time has passed.
Technically, we
I
did
don't
take a
know,
long
I-
rest,
Same
so it
morning.
is the next
Look,
day.
look, one of the fucking passages led to a literal forge of like the progenitor of fire giants.
Right.
Of course I'm going to go, okay, does it
So
time
you
work
did take a
there
long
normally?
rest. That is admittedly. So it's not the same day. It's the next day.
Yeah,
Apologies.
okay.
I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. So,
You're
Oswald, as
welcome.
you move up the stairs, you see at the doorway, like kind of cross-legged, seated of your outside of your room, is what looks to be a taller taller for a gnome, gnomish individual, very short hair, shorn close to the scalp, and large amber eyes that looks at you wearing what appears to be courier's garb, message bag by his hip, and seeing you is just like, oh, thank heavens. Jots up to his feet and moves over to you. Hello, I have a message for you. Something only you're supposed to see.
So I've been told. I'd like to
Yes,
see it then.
Yes. Are you in fact Oswald Mandel? OZWALDMANDEL Mandel.
It's OSW.
What?
Yes. Typos happen. It's nothing to worry about. This message
Hold-
you have for me?
Hold on. Are you from...
He's got the wrong person.
Sir?
You live here, right? This is your... You live in this city, Nerevar? The capital city of Kismar? You live here? You're not like a foreign dignitary?
I'm
no.
currently visiting
Do you know
of the High Elves.
a Ficramus Macedi?
Do I?
Macedi? No, you have no idea who the fuck that is.
This poor guy.
I
no.
must apologize, sir. I do not.
Right. So it appears I've got the wrong person.
It would appear so.
Hold on. Wait. Okay.
These things happen.
Would you
Take
be
a deep
willing for
breath.
the sum of 60 gold to change your name to OZ WALD Mandel?
Sir, he just kind of looks at this man. Honestly, I feel more obligated to compensate you for your time out of pity.
Listen, I really need this job, and the Couriers Guild, it's very, very specific.
You
And
know, I
that's
was
just-
I
well, I'm
I was
liable
hoping to
lose
hire
my
you
tongue.
for a job if you were going to be available after this, but then this mix-up has happened, so now I'm not so confident.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I will swear a holy oath that I will deliver your mail if you please just take this fucking money.
I can't. It's not for
Oswald
me.
Mandel was bequeathed. Well, then maybe he's dead. He's in the ditch. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's retrace our steps for a moment. How did you come across my location rather than the person you were actually trying to find? How did that happen?
The tracking spell isn't always the most accurate. It sometimes just happens.
Okay, can it be done again?
Unfortunately, not. I'm a trainee. Like, I'm not.
Just the
where I can
intern.
act-
I'm just the intern.
Okay,
Okay,
that.
do you know
that-
an arcanist, Ficramus Macedi from Sulmala?
I was just gonna put his hand on his shoulder. Sometimes you have to move along with your failures. I'm sure your superiors will understand.
No, they won't. It's wartime. They will take my tongue.
Wouldn't that Yvonne
Would
and
they?
Oswald are staying
I
in one of her-
would I know that?
Would Yvonne
You
have made her way to the room at that point?
So, in a general sense, usually no, but there are certain sects of messenger guilds and entire guilds in specific that are extremely barbaric in their practices. If you would like, you can roll me a history check to discern if he is if he's overreacting in this case, given his garb and who he supposedly works for, or
Okay.
if he's telling the truth.
13 plus 8 for 21.
Oh, he's not overreacting at all. The specific guild he works for, which, funnily enough, is, and let me remember this correctly. Go for my notes. I'm gonna scroll up a bit.
Wow, actual written information about the world?
Oh, wow.
It's such a rare oddity.
It is an offshoot of the Impulpary Trading Company, which thankfully I can relink to you guys. Let me just scroll up in the campaign VC chat real quick. The Impulpary Messengers Guild, which are extremely barbaric in their punishments for various task failures from their employees.
Now this is me, the player, speaking. Who's about to say something that probably sounds pretty ignorant. There are other continents, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just look at the lad in his eyes and I say, "Do you have this 60 gold on your person?"
I don't. I do have the money for Oswald Just be Oswald Mandel for a day, 10 minutes.
Here's what we're going to do. Lad. I'm going to give you this, and I pull out 60 gold and I give it to him. You're going to get yourself a ticket on a boat, and you're going to run and never look back.
Deal. Takes the 60 gold and goes running past you before turning around and says, "Thank you," and throws the bag at you. and leave.
Fumbles it.
It's a heavy bag.
Yeah, he fumbles it and he just flops with a thunk to the ground then.
So, you see a portion of an official will sleep out. Oswald Mandel, O-Z-W-A-L-D Mandel, has been bequeathed 450 platinum, the sums of which are in this bag, from Arcanist Vikramus Makedi.
I don't
She
think I don't
unfortunately passed away from wasting sickness in Sul Malar.
This is above the table here. I don't know if I can take this.
Above the table, if you don't take this money, I'm punching Oswald dead in the fucking
Here's the
titty.
issue. I don't know if I want that kind of price on my head because I just gave money to a kid so he could run
Give
away.
it to me!
That's the thing. Okay, this is like a victimless crime. It's all good. It's fine.
Is it? What if
It's not
Oswald is
your fault that
expecting
they
this
fucked up the
money?
name.
Cool. The guy's running away. You're not.
I need
At
to
this moment, you're
roll
not
something.
Oswald,
I
you're
need to roll
Oswald.
something. I'm sorry.
You're gonna try and like hide it in a vase.
Also, question: would Yvette have made it to the room by this point?
Oh, that's
We're staying in one room.
unfortunate.
Right, you
Oswald,
are staying in the same room.
Yes, that's what I was asking
We'll,
about.
we'll say as you're going.
I'm
to,
not
like,
reading
start
this out
coming up the
loud.
stairs,
Huh?
As you're going to start coming up the stairs, you just get rammed by this small gnomish individual. Checks your hip. It's like sorry, and keeps running.
What the? Do
Make
I
your way
see
up to
Oswald's
You
fucking
see-
sprawl on the floor? Or does he get up already?
I didn't fall over. The bag
Yeah, you just
fumbled.
fumbled the bag.
Ah, right.
Quite literally
You see
fumbled the bag.
Oswald stand up straight after picking up the bag. Just kind of looks inside of it, eyes
You
widen
burned the note.
slightly, blinks.
Burn the will.
Are you alright?
A weird smile comes across his face. You know, I think I am.
Everything's turning up me, and just the city
Uh,
implodes.
Okay. That's good. Who was the short guy?
Wrong message courier. He's apparently delivering the oh gods, what's the term? Promised items from a will to an Oswald Mandel. O-Z, not
Oh,
O-S.
so inheritance. Wait, so
Yes.
oh, that's yeah, that's funny.
Bequeathment, by the way.
Queef.
Shh.
Shiver.
Queef, you tit, bequeath.
I too am the blue tit, the most fearsome of all the
it's-
birds.
Quite a significant sum. It was 450, right?
Yep.
About
Just gonna,
225
approach the
platinum.
bag and look in if Oswald lets her.
He doesn't let her look inside the bag, but he's not gonna like hide it behind his back.
I mean that's
It's like trying to
that's
take
a
a. It's like,
significant amount.
it's like trying to open a closed book that's in someone else's hands. It's just so
Yeah, that's-
weird.
Caleb,
I'm,
like looks the bag over and then just says, I mean,
Perhaps we could use these funds. I mean, we're in Nerevar after all. We could use these funds to purchase us some magical equipment.
yes, even if we, well, I mean, we also don't really know where this Oswald is, so we can't really
Yes, that is
fix
also
the
another.
error.
Hey, buying a looking.
No.
Okay.
Burn the will.
So okay, DM. I have no idea who an Oswald Mandel is.
Roll me a D100.
Sure.
So many people named
Uh,
Oswald Mandel.
If
What
you get a
piece
10
are.
on the double digit and a 0 on the single digit, is just a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, wait,
10.
no, that's
That's
100.
100.
No, that's 100. That's 100.
Would that not
That is
be No.
No,
be
0 on
10.
the single digit.
Yeah.
And then 10 on the double digit, so that's 100. Yeah.
What? No.
That
That would be
no,
that would be
double
all
zeros
zeros.
is 100. 10
you're,
like
you're
that
fucking
is
with me. Why would you say that? I'm literally like I have the dice right in front of me, and Luna, you decide to say that's a 10. That's what threw me off. You're throwing me
What?
off. You're banned from this
No.
campaign.
I-
Go to Brazil.
What?
Okay. So yeah, it's a 10.
Okay, 10. You know? Fuck it.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
Oh, long while ago, you were indeed confused. And this was at the start of your now 7th-month journey. You were confused when you stood into a town, well eastward of Brentwyn, with another patron of an inn, who was known as Oswald Mandel, who was a dwarf. You were only confused by name. The appearance was nothing alike.
You know,
Apparently, he claimed to be the world's first and only half-dwarf. Because from what you could tell, he was just a human. With a very big beard.
you know, actually, comes to think of it, kind of squints his eyes a little bit. I think Oswald Mandel. I've been confused with him before when I first began my journeys. I might.
Yes, but Nerevar's a big city,
I
and we have
this
like,
was
no
this was
chance
far
of
back
finding the
east,
guy.
so
Exactly.
this is
I
a
don't think
significant
it's
cock up on the
Nerevar.
Couriers Guild. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just dreadful service.
But I think he's the world's first half dwarf. That can't be right. That's probably
I
not
don't know.
right. I wouldn't know. I barely know anything about him, except for the fact that he's given me a bunch of money. He didn't give me it. I got it in...
Well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess.
Yes. I suppose. Well, I'm going to probably buy us a bag of holding first thing. I get the chance.
That would be good, actually. That would be very good. My backpack is very heavy.
Yes,
These nerds can't lift.
I only realized I forgot mine at home when I was about weeks into my travel.
I don't know why I
And,
said backpack and kind of like reveals the fucking like messenger bag. That's like, it has been for the ringer at this point. It is like barely holding together.
I had a
Let it
messenger
go,
bag and I
bruh.
Like a bullied for it.
I accidentally took one of my prototype parachutes. Regardless, we got money now.
You're what?
Oh,
So,
you're gonna kill my
I-
conversation,
we're gonna,
fucker.
yeah, I am. Just real quickly, just so I can
Yeah.
discern what else is happening. Andros, what are you doing while this conversation is still taking place?
Andros is downstairs, either
You trying to get something to
performing
eat?
and or getting drunk. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, eating.
Performing and eating.
I forgot I haven't
Mighty
eaten
task.
in a while.
Yeah. Zychra, what do you want to do?
Zychria's gonna go get something to eat first too, actually.
Okay. What do you want to order? There's a separate dining area, very much akin to a fancy restaurant, but behind a long kind of steel cook's line is what appears to be something that gives you pause, and there's this quick moment where you really want to draw a weapon. What appears to be a gnoll stood behind the cook's line, complete with a chef's hat and apron and actual attire. It looks at you as you walk in. It's relatively empty. It's quite late, but the kitchen still appears to be going. And this gnoll has a rather large handlebar mustache, which sags downward towards about the collarbone, braided at the ends.
If she can, she's going to get herself just something. After all the shit today, she wants just a nice hearty stew, something that's homey, warm, comforting. There.
You've gone to a fancy restaurant and ordered chicken tenders.
Yes, she has. She does not want anything fancy. She wants food. She has
Well.
been beaten. She's been beaten, bruised, and poisoned, blinded. She had been wants
She asked for a platter of chicken nuggets
Give
and
a woman a break.
Back
Hey,
and forth.
please have some chicken tendies.
She suffers so much.
She has been
Yeah,
beaten,
boy.
bruised, and blinded. She wants a break.
And poison.
I'm sorry. You want to stew?
Oh Jesus.
Make it the nicest fucking stew you can.
How spicy are we talking, madam?
I can deal with a bit of spice.
Hmm.
I slipped into another accent by accident.
See, this is a trustworthy man right here. Look at that laugh. Look at that smile.
She
Look at that grin.
he looks
What?
tired and awkward.
Dark eyes are just laughing at you. What part of Krikisma do you come from?
Why do you want to know?
To adjust the spice levels.
How white are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what he just asked you.
Yeah,
Respond with
basically.
blue.
I come from a little town, not too far away from Nerval.
Disappointing.
In between.
Alright.
Yeah. Near the.
I'll be sure to get to it.
Okay. She's.
Take a seat. Gerald will be
She's.
right with you.
She does not like the laughing. She's just very awkwardly sitting
He's
there.
a hyena man. What more do you
Yeah,
want?
I
from me?
know. I know, but it
Let him
doesn't make her
cook.
any more comfortable.
So, you seat. Andros, roll me a performance check with advantage. So it's going.
Okay. That's a 30. 19 plus 11.
What type of emotion are you trying to emulate with this performance, if any?
I think since it's the memory that's like closest to him, and this is the song that's on his mind, he's playing like the condensed version of the song he was playing it for that night.
Yeah.
But for simplicity's sake, we'll just call it hour 4.
Yeah. Andros's Hour 4. That sounds like a great song title, to be honest.
I mean, they like called like shit concerto like number
Number
4
255.7999.
in D major
Yep.
and shit like that. Like that is nothing. That
They
sounds
described
interesting. That sounds intriguing.
So, would it be safe to say that with Hour 4 there is an element of kind of feverish desperation? How would you describe it?
Yes.
Actually,
It seems lost and like desperate and wanting.
much more harsher tune takes up the walls of the Celestine tonight. And while it does get folk confused looking around, you see here and there dart around patrons kind of look weirded out for a couple moments before taking it into account and letting it flow through them. And you see that dance and good cheer has kind of evolved into and progressed into a much more somber mood, a much more subtler one. And eventually, you would gain, of course, this performance about 7 gold
Hell yeah.
in whatever change you wish to signify it as. And eventually, Zychria, you hear footsteps, and you look up as apologies. Red-skinned lizard folk is moving his way towards you, complete in
Fire
Celestine
power.
waiter's attire, holding a platter with a covering over the top of it. Your dinner, madam.
He just nods.
That's it down. And in front of you is
I'm expecting some Ratatouille level bullshit. Come on.
Where's the rat?
funnily enough, no. is instead.
That's not
is
funny at all.
essentially- Apologies, I need to actually find it because I have the fucking menu for this place. Right. Essentially, what is in front of you is what looks to be the best way to describe it would be pork tonkatsu ramen. It is not what you asked for at all, but it certainly looks beautiful. Various green onions, noodles, the two, of course, amazing eggs, the pork itself, and then there appears to be a healthy amount of caviar and grated truffle, which kind of bastardizes the flavor. But you think to yourself, at some point, these people just put items on here to make the price increase.
Yeah, she looks a
But it's
little
for free.
disappointed. As
So-
a person who cooks herself, she looks a little disappointed, but she definitely is going to take her time and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's again, you probably avoid the caviar. And
Yeah.
you probably scrape off the truffle, and after that, it's a decent experience. It's not bad by any stretch of the means. It's pretty good. It's just you could already tell that truffle caviar on top of ramen, that's too many flavors to work with.
Yeah.
That's like someone making you bibimbap and then just adding fucking
Spec-
mango chutney from tikka masala to it. It's just too much.
Especially when she wanted something nice, simple, and hearty.
Yeah.
She looks
It's
disappointed,
too
but she definitely is
complex.
gonna savor
It's
it.
too complex.
You don't add caviar to soup.
No, you don't.
You don't. She just tries to separate the ingredients and enjoy each one on its own.
Will you require a drink?
Honestly, I can honestly just take some water.
A good choice. Strides away, and eventually a glass of water is turned at your side. It's about at this point, as you're sat there enjoying that reverence, you would come across the Celestine. It's been a long process, but you're finally here. As you step in, the receptionist.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a call the second you say my fucking name. Give me a moment.
Hey.
That.
We wait a moment.
We talk more about the caviar soup.
Fine, we'll talk
It's been a
about
moment,
caviar
yeah.
soup.
Tell me about what the fuck horrible creation you've made.
Listen, I didn't say this was good, okay? So,
You are also the inventor of the nightmare cheese thing, so
the nightmare cheesesteak was beautiful.
We
Tonkatsu
don't
ramen is
talk
great,
about the nightmare cheese.
so I don't want to hear anything,
Oh,
any disrespect.
well, if we don't talk about the nightmare cheesecake, we have to talk about the fried chicken and waffles that he made.
Boo-hoo fucking who?
He made a hot dog in the other campaign.
Alright,
I'm sorry.
Very
wanna-
mild in comparison to the other
Right.
shit, but still.
Right, well, we'll jump back in regardless. So, as you step into the Celestine, you see the clerk behind the counter. Stained glass mask made out of numerous different colorings and long flowing white robes. That as you enter, kind of not really harried, but definitely, despite your attire, a little bit out of place. Holds up a hand. And
Oh,
who might you be?
it's good to meet you, Reverence. I'll shake your hand, but I have. And he kind of holds his hand up, not in the best of state. Travel on the road is not very nice. Would you have money? Anyway, I'm here just to meet people.
The Celestine is not for idle social interactions. Do you
Very
have
much. I
people
do
who are
have a
staying-
shared room with somebody here.
Name.
Zachria.
Takes a look down.
Bluish tiefling.
Zycria, whoever this may be, is not within our ledger. A bluish tiefling came in bearing Archmage Felwinter's
That's the one.
hospitality card. Archmage Felwinter only carries a single bed. He prefers the smaller ones, so I would assume that you would not fit in such an arrangement.
Well, we came with a group split off. I'm with Ewald. My name Oswald. And
Well,
my name
Oswald, and they have gone up to retire for the night, but I believe Andros is still performing.
Oh, thank you.
On your way. And gestures a hand.
And he makes his way there.
Okay.
He's
So
gonna-
you pass into the threshold of the main area of the Celestine, and you do see off to your left, seated alone in the dining area, is Zykria, like kind of just
The mouse picture in campaign PC. The mouse picture. in
yeah,
campaign.
that essentially trying her best to enjoy a moment which has been tarnished, not like the gods. And Andros across from you, playing a little bit of a more frantic tune. Oswald and Ewald are nowhere to be seen, at least as of current.
All right, well, he's going to kind of look towards Andros, and he goes, "Yeah, we're just not disturb him for the time being." And he's going to make his way to Zachariah. And he's going to sit down on the other end. Well, I'm back.
I'm assuming things went well.
As well as I could have. As well as I could have.
Do you want some of this? Fanciest shit in the world, and they can't give me a fucking stew. She just hands it off.
And he eats it. He goes, oh, he had a hand half it as a bag, about to pull up a ration. He goes, okay. And yeah, it's gone very, very quickly. Very hurried and frantic eating. With the resemblance of good posture, but hurried, I'm hungry. All right. Well, entrance people are dicks. That's for sure.
I can't deal with half this fancy shit. From the food to the weird mess, it's cold, if anything.
He's going to kind of lower his tone, not to mention one of us can get arrested here. He kind of taps her on the wrist.
I've worked with the gods. I can explain.
Good for you. I'm a bit stuck. Well, anyway, do you know where Ewald and Oswald went? You know where their room is?
I don't know where their room is. I assume they went to bed for the night.
Oh, I'll wait for Andros.
Okay. You sit yourself and wait. Oswald, you went to bed, correct?
Well, actually, I was conversing with Yveld about parachutes,
You
but
were.
yes.
You were.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask because you went to bed. Did you go to bed, or did you go somewhere else?
No, Yveld is. What time of day is this approximately?
We're approaching the realm of midnight.
Ugh, yeah, no, it's not that late.
So don't sleep.
Yeah, also Yveld's like perception of time is completely fucked at this point. Like, who gives a shit anymore? No, Yveld effectively after the parachute discussions, spends probably by the tail end of that talk, starts like setting up this like metal brazier and like laying out incense around it,
Please spare us and knocking out the
As-
creature.
After that, like at the tail end of the conversation, effectively starts ritual casting Find Familiar.
Absolutely.
And I was wondering that I looked over the list, and one of the optional creature forms I could take is a fox. From
It's
specifically the
Scoop
fox
either way.
book from
Please not Fox
Uh,
Mom.
I can like send it to you because like it
Please.
is
do.
a normal fox stat block if you're wondering.
Yeah, it comes
Right.
from Icewindale.
Icewindale. Oh, that's
I'll
why
send it to
I
you.
don't have that
I'll
book.
send it to you.
Just quickly check it.
There is a new book coming out.
Yade. Here, I sent it
Is
to
this
you.
an optional form?
Yeah, it's one of the optional forms. If
I
not,
think for
that's
now, I
fine.
think I just prefer to stick with the current edition ones. So just keep
In
it as
that
is.
case, at one point, you has been actually listening to the conversation with parachutes, and at one point just puts up a finger and says, "I need your input. Lizard or rat?" And kind of looks at the coalescing ink-like mass in the brazier.
You say this to Oswald?
Yes.
Sorry,
What do
what?
you
I
think?
got spaced out.
I-
What happened?
Lizard or rat? What do you think?
For what?
For Lump.
Uh,
I don't think he enjoys being an owl.
lizard.
Lizard, okay.
A
And
proper
Yvonne just
lizard.
plunges both
A
hands and
proper
essentially
lizard. Like a real
Uh,
lizard.
Jochen just looks, effectively having plunged their hands into the mass and like just looks at it and says,
Like
Slight like
like
air bubble.
slim
Maybe.
figure, long tail, little head,
Mhm.
4 limbs.
Yeah.
Not
4,
gooping
okay.
all over the place.
1, 2. Look. He's
Not
trying
making
his best.
noises of the damned.
I don't control that. Technically, he shouldn't be able to make those. I don't know where he got vocal cords from. Anyways,
He stole
he has
them.
those ritual casts. From whom?
I like to imagine all of this happens just because she keeps buying the wrong type of herb.
Okay.
Nah, he's
So,
just like that.
as you
yes,
unload-
ritual casting, find familiar.
The reason why
Forming a
Lump is
lizard?
the way he is because he's made with cilantro as opposed to oregano.
Ah, yes, the devil's lettuce.
No.
No,
but
it's
regard-
just
Yeah, just
over the
make
next-
him,
some good shit.
make him
over
with
the
pure
next
weed.
hour,
Yeah.
for the next hour, akin to a potter, you spend the time forming Lump. So there is a question.
Yes.
Because as everything is prone to happen with Lump, there needs to be some small amount of fuck up. And you just roll me a dexterity check.
Oh no.
You're fashioning
saving
it. You didn't
throw.
have to describe it like this.
Yeah, I mean, look. You built a
has an
self-taught
extra toe.
wizard. I'm certain there's like proper ways to do that, and all that shit, and like.
I've literally seen you scroll past like 5 of your d20s. What's the total?
I mean, wait, with my modifier?
With your dexterity modifier.
3.
Okay.
He's missing a leg.
No.
missing.
No.
He's missing
no.
3
It's
legs.
even worse.
So,
4 legs. He's now not a murder snake.
over the
He's-
course of the
yeah.
next hour, the ritual that makes Lump occurs. This small little beast being formed. Sorry, aberration. Apologies. We should call him by his correct creature type. And as he is formed, your hands slip here and there, and you scramble to keep them retaining his shape, his oily, squelchy, slimy shape. And Oswald, you're kind of pillow over your head in your bed, just listening to the constant like of the fashioning of Lump.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! No!
Four.
No! It's all
You
wrong!
hear
It's all wrong! It's all wrong!
As the hour strikes midnight, and you can't
Thank
help
the
yourself,
fucking gods you took a while.
but you see the shadow on the wall. This large creeping thing, spread arms wide. Well,
Horror.
3 upper limbs, 2 lower, and a split tail.
Yeah, he looks cool as shit.
The horror.
Effectively.
And you watch as you hear the noise of you watch as just various like droplets of shadow just go shaking off of the shadow of Lump onto wherever he might have left them.
There we go.
I.
No more flying for now. And Gerald puts a lump on their shoulder. He effectively, well, it very clearly is meant to look like a lizard. It almost
Yeah.
kind of does from a distance.
Until you see the next time he makes that noise, the lower jaw splits in 2 and segments like
Oh,
knuckles.
fuck this shit.
Beautiful. Effectively, he is supposed to be modeled after a Draco lizard with he does have these like weird webbed flaps that like kind of
Just suit the
attach
aberration vibe more.
yeah, that kind of do attach the front limbs to the body, but like they clearly would not actually help in regards to flight or any other movement.
No.
No, I'm aware of that. Yeah, normal lizard stat block. As Yvel looks up to him and says, "I think I'm going to get something to eat. Do you want to come along?" I'm not asking you. I'm asking Oswald. You okay there?
Take that thing away from me.
Fucking can't pay attention.
Meanwhile, you can just hear the faint rumblings of
I
the.
pray to the Lord, to the Holy Son.
Meanwhile, you can just hear the faint rumblings of the regrowing Boris in the bathtub.
Yeah. Boris is currently regrowing.
Like distant laundry being inside the machine.
Yeah, Yvel just like looks to the bathroom and says, "I don't judge you and your infernal machine."
My machine looks like it's supposed to.
Yes, and my guy is trying his best. Yes, I know you are. You're doing a great job.
It's great because Luna has to watch the facial expressions I make when I do Limp's voice.
I just ignore them.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Just imagine you throw your pillow over your head and you
Oh
have
my
like
god, yes! Just a little freak. Just a little
So,
freak of a man.
Yvel, do you want to step downstairs?
Skeleton, by the
Yeah.
way.
And with that, Yvel is going to start going downstairs.
Absolutely.
Lump on their shoulder.
Andros, at this point, your performance could come to an end, or you could keep going if you want to stretch hour number 4 to hour number 6. Andros is dead.
Ah,
Huh?
died on stage.
Sorry.
Performance could come
was
to an end
So
if you
far
so
staged out. What was the question?
Your performance could come to an end if you so wished.
Yeah, I think Andrew stopped.
Okay. Do you make your way over to the table where Zychri and Reverence are seated?
No, he ends this one the same way he ends every nightly performance. As he takes his bow, he misty steps upstairs.
Okay. As Yvel comes down, once again, you are bumped into someone on the stairs.
Oh,
Hauntingly familiar.
Oh, hi, Andres.
Hi.
You okay?
do I see from a distance this lump
Not-
as I'm probably
not
watching
yet.
Not
Andros?
yet.
Not
Oh.
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see him.
Oh,
You'll
boy.
see
How, many,
him.
how many people are here about to witness this?
There. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm
Uh,
fine. How are you?
I'm good. Oswald was apparently had a case of mistaken identity, but which resulted in him obtaining some coin, which is always good.
How much coin?
Apparently a lot. I don't know the exact
Oswald
amount.
told you 225 platinum.
I think it was 200 platinum.
You were all just lowering the prices whenever I love this.
Something along that lines. I don't remember.
Hmm.
And I reformed Lump. And takes it off the
Oh
shoulder.
God,
kind of
no!
outstretches. What?
Oh God, no!
Look at him.
It doesn't even look
Now-
the same. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, look,
What the fuck is?
No,
don't
that's
don't touch my
that's
fucking
the
foot.
whole-
This is fucking leather boot. I'll
he's
up
not
on you.
touching your foot. I'm holding him in my hands.
He
That
is
exactly
gooping a
was-
little bit.
Just
He's
kind of puts it
dripping.
back on the shoulder. He's not dripping. He's trying to keep himself
He's-
together.
Chip.
Look, you try maintaining your
There's-
physical form constantly 24/7.
Drip. Drip.
Look at me in my face and say that again.
Yup. I don't think you.
I was expecting
yeah.
Andros to turn into Yvel and say that again.
Oh God. Just kind of. Okay, my bad. Maybe not the best thing to say. Oh,
Yes.
shush you.
Don't. It's.
I'm sorry. That was very impolite of me. My point is that he's like this because I'm not sure he enjoyed being a bird, and also the feathers kept falling out. I think
don't
he's going to have
he
better luck with
enjoys
scale.
being what?
I'm worried what's gonna happen when he sheds his skin.
Now look at you. You
Just-
definitely
what-
enjoyed
how do I
one
get
we'll get to
egg
that.
out of my
Why didn't
shoes?
you bring this up, Evo? What's wrong with
No.
you?
We'll get to shedding the skin eventually.
Yeah.
Oh God.
cannot.
Oswald, I've got a
Oh my
new stuffed
god, how
animal
bring
for
your name.
you.
Temptation took over me in a moment of weakness. I've let you down. I passed judgment where it was my right to do so. Purge me of sin. Allow me to prove myself once more. I put fate in your hands so I can make amends for my mistakes.
He's praying.
Oh,
Hey, Aragon, quick question. Are you swallowing your mic as you talk?
No, I cut my mouth.
So,
Oh.
Andros, Lump Drips,
I'm
Yeah.
going to go get dinner. You want to come along?
Yeah, sure.
to ruin his purpose of the Misty Step.
I'm going.
great.
I'm going to change my shoes first, though, since I got
Just
lump
why?
all over them.
Jill crouches down and it's gonna cast prestidigitation on the shoes.
Roll me
Fair enough.
an Arcana check real quick.
Wait,
Can
what
you-
fucking for? I'm
Lump-
moving
lump-
this dice. That's it. This dice is going to jail. That's a 5 plus,
Lump's immune.
well, 7, so 12. But you are going to jail. No more.
It's considered a creature.
As you do this,
Oh no.
there's a brief moment where Lump from your shoulder starts just writhing around going,
Oh
as
God!
you are actively vaporizing his parts.
You've
It's
also
a
gonna like,
creature.
I'm cleaning
conti-
these
finishes
shoes.
the
Like, there's nothing you can say
prestidigitation.
that's going to stop me.
and awkwardly kind of looks at the shoes and then at Lump and says, "Okay, I'm just going to
I'll
note
tell you
down
what,
that
you can roll an
apparently his
insight check with advantage if you would like to on your familiar to see if they're fucking with you.
You know what? Sure. Yeah, I want to know. Okay, that's a 16, and that's 12, so 16 plus 4 for a total of dirty 20.
I need to roll a deception check. Let me look at the positive stats real quick.
They're not good. They're
Might have a charisma modifier.
no. Lizards
Their
have
charisma is a -4.
minus 4. Yes.
-4 to this check.
Uh huh.
Can we get one for minus
I
5?
need in that 20.
Wow, that's a 19 minus
Literal.
4.
What the fuck?
Really wanted to lie. No, he's fine.
He's pretending. But also, yeah, no. You can clean them later. They look fine.
Okay, then I'm
Oh, Mac
prestidigitating
Andrews,
it away.
being a prissy bitch.
It's also pretty late, and I don't know when their restaurant. I don't know what they have here closes.
They won't close before I eat. I'll prestidigitate it away.
I've prestidigitated it away already. It's gone.
Then why would you say it's not that bad?
Nothing.
That you did not clean it.
Cleaning. Come on. And you're
I
all just going
cast
to
Tidal
start.
Wave. That'll clean them up.
Say, meteor swarm.
Fireball.
So, all will be cleansed in the holy flame of the foot. No, anyway, you continue down to the bar, and
Yeah.
then continue to the dining area. And there is the same line cook as before.
Yvelda's keeping Lump on her shoulder.
No, no.
And there's Reverence and Zychrius sat down.
Do I notice them?
Yeah, they're the only people in
Yvelda-
this fucking place.
Yvelda's going to wave at them, and then is going to go to like the bar area to order.
Well, looks like everyone else. What the fuck is that?
Zacharias just
Wow.
staring wide-eyed while she's reaching for her sword.
What are you? Demon? He's looking for a dagger.
Zacharias pulling out her sword.
As you're doing this, Yvelda's just kind of like petting Lump, and you see what could constitute as a face on this creature, just like the smuggest look ever, and just.
Why is it adorable? God damn it.
Don't,
He
Don't.
puts out the dagger.
don't betray me like
It is
this.
very adorable. His name is Lump.
Don't start.
I'll be there in a second, and he's gonna
Zacharias
approach the
still
gnome.
holding her
And
fucking
is going to
sword.
say, hello, have you got some soups?
Unfortunately.
Oh.
No, not.
Oh my god. You.
Unfortunate.
people.
Have you got anything you can recommend?
Reverence is eating a ration right now. He's still hungry.
West side
What?
of Kirkias Ma. West side?
Yes.
Seafood fan?
Kind of.
Just
I've not
order the
had
cheese
seafood
platter.
in a I was
is an
going
option.
to. It's
It is an
we'll
option.
get to that.
It will be an option that kills you, but it's an option.
Let me roll something for you, Val.
Man versus food.
Yeah, you both kind of like. Jonas says, "I don't think seafood's going to be the most appropriate option."
Let's say. Let's just go with a panini.
Yeah, sure.
Be right with you.
That sounds good. Oh, could I also get a cheese platter?
Excuse me.
Could I get a cheese platter if you do these? Or just any appetizer thing for a group. I know it's late. I know, but I was just
You'll
asking.
be wanting the charcuterie board.
Okay. That's fine by me.
Be right with you.
Should I wait here or should I go by the table? I'm going to go by the table.
Andrews, do you order or do you just go to the table?
My usual. Simply
I'm gonna whisper.
weenie.
I'm gonna whisper to Zachary. Do I dare pet that thing? Do I touch? Is
I'm
it going to
wondering if
erode my skin?
I'm wondering if I should stab it, honestly.
What did they do? Is that meant to be a
Yvonne is going to
thing?
slide by
Is
the
that a
table.
demon?
Whoa!
Is that a
Good
She's
day.
gonna-
It's not a demon. Don't call it that. That's very rude.
She was whispering that to Reverend.
But with all due respect, you have no right to be offended. Kind of like looks down at Lump. Anyways, and I can disappear him if he's disconcerting to look at.
It's
I
okay.
guess.
It's okay.
Okay. You're kind of just like.
I mean, there are
keeps,
people trying to eat, so maybe.
He's like,
Yeah,
just
Reverend is
walks around
actively
the
hiding his
empty room.
hands.
I
He's like
don't know if
leaning
I
back
can.
in his chair.
I
like-
don't know if I can eat with that thing around. If
Fine, and Yvel's just going to like trace a circle in the air, effectively around Lump, and he just like poofs out of existence. That was the noise of movement, not of
thank
pain.
God.
I made sure.
Well, now
That's
that
Lump, my
most of us
familiar.
are here, what do we all do?
Well, I'm just grabbing dinner because I've spent about 2 or so days in the catacombs eating
One.
dried nuts and fruits that I had with me.
As
So,
if he puts a piece of his ration in his mouth and puts it back in his bag.
and I just want some normal food. But I mean, if Winter has a job for us and is apparently willing to pay very well, then why not take it? I'm just glad to be done with the whole Luciana thing.
yeah, I interrogated her afterwards, actually, but
Did you learn anything
a
useful?
little bit. Apparently, she's not part of that cult Levistus. She hired them as kind of like muscle, and then killed them. Promised
Oh.
them a talk to one of her benefactors about a permanent gate between planes or something.
DM, could question. So, more specifically, could I roll some sort of arcana check maybe to determine how common is it just for someone to know a guy who knows how to set up a permanent planar gateway? Because given the whole thing with the keeper,
You
I'd
need to roll
imagine
check for that,
Yvald
no.
would have like
You
looked
don't need
into
to roll
that.
a check for that. No,
Oh.
it's not common at all.
Yvald's eyes kind of widen and then says,
Don't know much either.
permanent planar gateways.
I don't know how either. I don't know anything. I've researched shit from different planes, but I've
Beyond
never.
that, what makes you think this whole Luciana thing is done? The only crime she has supposedly committed currently is breaking into Felwinter's office and assaulting a student. Assault.
Yes.
And the person
Felwinter-
who is the assaultee, and he gestures towards Andros, you look mighty fine. Which isn't a death penalty anywhere. It would be a time in prison, and it depends on what prisons she's being kept in.
She seemed very fucking confident she was getting out scot-free.
Well,
Well, I mean,
if she
so
fails the whole court trial and apparently knows somebody how to open a planar gate, she might know a good lawyer. Who knows?
are
I doubt it.
lawyers a thing?
Lawyers and yeah, sorry, I should have prevented that slip up. Lawyers are not a thing in Aren. Not yet. There's one in Group 1 that is in the process of making that happen.
Oh,
It's very much kind of feudal court where the ruler of the city makes the decisions. The person pleads their case. That's it.
well, if she happens to know somebody big who is possibly doing her whole trial, she might get out scot-free. She might be able to. Does she know charm magic? Does she know anything of the sort? Can she slip anything past us? I mean, she's a maid.
She-
Mages can do anything.
Probably.
Not only was
I
she
don't
not,
know.
well, not only was she a mage, she was fey. I could tell she was fey. Do you know? I believe it was. Did you know she was a changeling?
Oh yes, we know that.
No, sorry, I'm asking out of character.
Considering. Yeah. There's not many
I believe she-
lineages that have gray skin by default.
Yeah, I believe she was a changeling. They're naturally tricky,
is.
honestly.
It's a changeling that's changing isn't magic, is it? And he looks towards Andres.
No.
No? Well, in that case, any sort of denying this isn't really possible.
I mean, I'm more so operating from the standpoint of Felwinter seems to believe us. Felwinter seems to understand that, yeah, this thing happened. We don't really have a lot of proof that it happened, but it did happen. And he can't really do anything to get her to answer for what she did in Brentwyn, but he can pull some strings to make sure that she doesn't do anything else. And
It's not in
Felwinter
Felwinter's
seems
hand, to
secure,
be honest.
and
It's not in his hand. What is he going to do? He's going to get him convicted of something, and then it's not in Felwinter's hands. Now it's in a god's hands. Now it's in a political system's hands, which always goes wrong. Look, this day she gets
you
a
have
hold
any
of
other
Prince of
options?
Bond. Well, no, I don't. But I'm just
Well,
saying,
then what
don't
do you-
assume it's all over. Because the second you assume it's all over, it's never over. I know from experience.
Burns. Now I regret not talking to her myself. I mean, that planar, permanent planar game.
But away
was
from
doing
that,
she was
the
doing it
job that
for-
we're doing, my contact actually had a little, well, not information on the job. He knew I was going to be offered the job, which is welcoming. And he
Who's
knew
your
that
con-
I was going to be working with all of you.
I'm sorry.
In that
Your
case,
contact?
you
who
should
is- who
ask less
exactly?
questions and take more answers.
I'm a researcher. Asking questions is kind of what I do.
You research. What do you research?
All sorts of things. For the most part, the arcane. I'm self-taught arcane practitioner. You're just going to make
Okay,
lump
Phil, as a college
appear
student.
back on the table.
Remember this when we like
Oh.
talk, debate
Zachary
attitude,
visibly,
and then it's like this shudder.
Zachary visibly like leans back away and like shudders a bit.
Admittedly,
You're Shakushi. What the fuck?
Yvonne immediately just traces the circle again, dissipating him. What?
I would ask within the Celestine's walls that you would keep such monstrosities from our table.
Oh, he's not a monstrosity.
He's a demon.
He's not a demon either.
What is he?
An illusion.
He's my familiar.
Regardless, your food, sir.
Thank you very much. And Ewald is going to like, so firstly, does the panini look fine? Does it look
Yes, it
edible?
looks fine.
Great.
It looks
Is
pretty
there
good.
caviar on the
Cool.
panini?
There's not caviar on the panini. You asked.
Ewald
For,
doesn't care if it looks good. Ewald cares if it looks edible.
you asked for a soup, and they decided to kind of fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yvel's asked for panini, and then got a panini. It is a very simple, a very basic panini. It is cheese and pepperoni. The cheese itself, a mixture of provolone and sharp cheddar. Oh, you probably wouldn't know that considering your fucking abysmal food tastes.
Yvelde very carefully removes the pepperoni, eats it separately, and then proceeds to eat the rest of the panini.
You like Yvel just like the what the fuck is that bitch's name from Get Out? The one that eats the
I don't know. I've never seen
Lucky
Get
Charms and the milk separately.
I know what you're talking
What?
about, but I don't know.
Dude, she,
And,
she,
it does
she
kinda
looks
move
the
the-
barbecue potato chip seasoning off of it and puts it back in the bag for later.
So I believe her name is Rose.
Yvelle would not do that. Look, Yvelle just has peculiar food taste. Leave him
So,
alone.
regardless,
But does move the charcuterie
board's a
board
lot.
in the middle. Say, oh, that's for everyone.
filled with all manner of prosciutto, chorizo, pastrami, grapes, raisins, and various cheeses, breads, butters, being both garlic, compound, and regular, and here and there bits of leafy goodness or holy hell, depending on your viewpoint of salads.
I slowly take another couple of nuts from my ration, pop them in my mouth.
Reverends, you can help yourself to some. This is for everyone.
It's also for free.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess I'll discuss my skill set. I have the ability to speak minds for very long distances and for quite some time.
Oh,
So-
that's
And I can do
that's
it with
interesting.
a good few amount of people as well at the same time.
Are you a practitioner of the arcane as well?
I don't know. I could be considered a practitioner of sorts, but it's usually whenever I have an answer or a question, the world answers me. Hence, Reverend's truth. Also came to me through
Huh.
some sort of an arcane mean.
That's very curious.
And he's going to look at the 3 other people here, and he is going to say a kind of a whisper, and everything kind of grays out for a moment as these silver petals begin to pass by the edge of your mind, the edge of your consciousness, almost like it's just out of sight, but you can see it. And then he starts speaking, and now all of us are linked within our minds.
Yvelde starts saying out loud, "Holy shit!" and then is going to
Think it.
pause and
Think it.
actually think. Holy
Before
shit!
this scene continues, I just can't get the image out of my head of like the line cook looking over and just seeing all 4 of you staring into one another's eyes. Like, Aren.
Just the most intense quadri-directional eye contact, like in all of Cookie ASMR.
It just gets really silent every once in a while. Reverend grabs a piece of cheese.
Gerald, mate, I think you need to get the fucking bouncer. This is getting out of hand.
Do you know what Lump reminds me of? He reminds me of the meme that's like, "Ma, there's this weird fucking cat outside."
Kind of looks like grandma.
Anyway,
Basically, all 4 of us right now.
well, that's one of the things I can do. I can bring weapons anywhere.
Is that magical talent or is that a?
Are you just good at hiding weapons? Is that what
Yeah.
this is?
In his prison pocket, if you would.
And
That's what I was
What the
about
fuck
to
did I just
ask.
come back
Where
to?
do you hide the weapons?
and he essentially opens up his fencing cape, and
Sorry.
and you don't see a single weapon. And then he pulls one out from looks like to be behind his elbow somewhere, as if he was grabbing behind a child's ear, and pulls out a dagger and puts it back in. But he does it very like under the table, just to not flag anyone down, if that makes sense.
So is that magic tricks or quote unquote? And she does the quote unquote magic tricks.
Is your clothing enchanted?
No, my clothing is not enchanted. I am very good at staying unseen. I guess now this could be considered a feat. I have hidden from Axor the Defiler a total of 3 times. Or 4. 3 or 4, something like that.
We didn't have to deal with that, thankfully. We came over and he was already...
Look, I was alone in a tunnel, and I had to press up against the wall as silently as I possibly could as that thing walks past me. Look, nothing's worse than being alone next to a dragon that's probably going to eat you, or he's fucking with me. I don't know. Well,
That
can't
sounds
fucking with me now.
terrifying. I'm glad. I'm honestly kind of glad he was dead when we arrived there.
Alright, that's good.
I am a good scout, and I have a very good people face, and I can get almost anywhere. When it comes to heights, at least. Very good climber. But that is a quick rundown of my abilities. He's going to gesture to Cypria. How about you, Blue?
Andros, you should just say that you are every charisma caster and leave it at that.
Yeah.
I've
I am.
collected them all.
Yeah. Just wait till I take a paladin level.
Please.
And he gestures towards Zychria. How about you, Blue?
I do something called hemocraft. I don't know if you've really heard of it before. Kind of looks around. As
Shrugs. Magic.
it's. I'm self-taught in it. I've been looking for someone who knows better than me for a while now. Even Felwinter said he didn't really know anyone who could teach me it. It's a kind of magic where you use your own blood as the way to do it.
Out of all the
Yeah,
magics you
that's
could have
not
chosen, you have to
common.
cut yourself to use your... Why would you ever choose that?
I mean, some spells require other creatures' blood, but that's...
Yes, you're the undead summoner practitioner thing. What was that? Sorry, continue. Go ahead, Blue.
Also not undead. I don't deal with those.
Gonna-
Necromancy's fancy and all that, but not my cup of tea.
Enough.
Gives Reverend good luck with the name. But yeah, I'm self-taught in that. It's easier to show than tell. I also do potions. I'd have quite a bit of experience in that. Can do all kinds. I can do a lot. Currently, I have some. She takes off stuff from her belt, from her bag, and you see like a bunch of vials and ingredients and some stuff to start a fire and a little test tube there. I have some. She like pulls out stuff from her belt. I have this one. This one looks like a almost it's a sticky, thick black ink-like thing in a vial. This one's more of an oil. It can make someone fit through very small holes. That can give me a
Looks like lump. You call it lump in a bottle.
it's an oil to make you incredibly slippery. Makes it very easy to get away from really anything. Then there's this one. And she takes out another one. It's a transparent one that has a fingernail of a hill giant floating in the middle of it. Don't be too grossed out.
A nail.
It's part of the potion. It's part of the ingredients. Unfortunately, it's not the most pleasant to
So-
drink, but it makes you fucking buff.
I just realized you drink
Look,
that.
I'm
I'm sorry. How is that fine, but my familiar is not?
Your familiar is.
That's not
unfortunately,
screaming in
cool.
Eldritch
Reverend
horror.
sets his hand on the table, points at a fingernail. I have these. I don't have that.
Well,
One is not screaming when it tries to communicate.
And this one,
Is it okay?
this one was a
Just shut up. You're in the ethereal plane.
It's in the wall. It's in the
yeah.
goddamn wall.
My potions
just-
don't tend. My
it's
potions,
just attention seeking. Sorry.
my
continue.
potions don't tend to scream.
Well, not that you know of. Make a screaming potion. Use it as a distraction. Could be very useful.
Oh, I can make
Did
smoke
I-
bombs. Those are very fun.
Well, my smoke bomb is kind of infinite and does very, very well, as you all saw.
Yeah, you smoke
previously.
bombs and. She's
I
like,
heard
Yeah.
a lot of
Mm.
cursing from you all, and I would like to apologize, but knowing Luciana is also a spellcaster, it helped out.
DM, could I use minor illusion to wait, I don't have that anymore. Never mind. No, I'm not going to.
No, you
yeah,
can't.
I don't have it
You lost that
anymore. It's gone.
You have so many cantrips, but you don't have minor illusion.
No, that's one of the actual ones I trade out. But I actually I could have it easily by tomorrow because cantrip formulas. Woo!
But yeah, this one's my
Yeah.
favorite. And she's like, you can tell she's getting excited just showing them off. And she takes out one that it is a, let me fucking look at it. There actually is, it is a rose-hued effervescent liquid with bubbles flowing out around through it.
No, I know one of those. I've used a couple of those in my
Ooh,
lifetime.
what's that?
It's a love potion.
It's a fizzy lifting drink.
This one,
It's a love
King
potion, isn't it?
Superman.
she nods to reverence.
I poisoned 3 nobles once with one of them.
That I wouldn't
Yvonne kind
suggest.
of like frowns at that and says,
Look. It was part of the job. It was very interesting, and all of them had kissy eyes at each other. And I left. That's all the request was. It was pretty simple, and I got paid 20 gold for it.
you got paid 20 gold for poisoning a bunch of nobles? I mean, that sounds kind of like a low bar.
Well, they offered me 100, but I decided I wanted to do it, so I gave them.
Yes.
Look,
Why
I
would
really
you-
wanted that one.
But yeah, this was a personal project of mine. I've been
It was very much
experiment-
a personal project. Oh, sorry,
This-
your potions. Right. Go ahead.
I've been experimenting with these for quite a while. I can. It's a hobby of mine. I also do poisons, and I can deal with a few herbs. Just like rummaging through a bag.
So would herbalist or alchemist be a better descriptor for what you do?
Whatever floats your boat, honestly. As long as I get to make the potion, and as long as I get to see the effect, it's all the same to me.
Oh, I find this kind of thing fascinating. I don't really necessarily care for making potions, but I do find the craft very, very interesting.
Very useful as well. Gives magic
yes.
to those who don't have it.
Unfortunately, unlike Andros here, I don't tend to have all that fancy healing magic, and when you're doing the kind of fighting I do, it's a little bit needed.
Well, just as important, do you know the name Valarin anywhere?
Not really? Who is that?
Never mind.
The name Valarin?
I was asking Blue.
Do you
It's
know my
fine.
name?
I don't know your last name, but I know your name is Ikria.
Didn't tell you my last name. I don't think, out of character, I don't think I know anyone named Valarin.
Nope.
Would I have heard of the name?
Yep.
When?
You're noble.
Oh, right.
Situated in the north and west side of Kias Mar. Borean is one of the closer cities towards you.
Oh shit, right, I forgot about that.
Villan
when-
is
Oh,
the
would I have heard
last
it?
name of the Lord of Borean. And yeah, absolutely you would have. Know that name intimately. Not well, intimately isn't the correct word. You do know the name though.
Villan, that's the, Lord of Borean, correct?
Yes, it's Malik.
Sorry, what was that? Didn't catch that.
Yes, that is Malik. Malik Valar.
Alright.
I don't tend to mess with a lot of that, noble stuff.
Looks a little
Hmm,
disappointed. Right then.
I've never met them, if that's what you're asking.
Don't. He's kind of like waving his hand, kind of side to side, like, don't do it. You don't want to meet him.
Is he a bad person, or you
It's
got
a
a thing
person.
against him?
It's a person.
Okay. He's got a hit for you or something? I know you said you've done some jobs.
Please tell me it's not a situation of you being hunted down by this person.
No, I'm not being hunted down. Well,
Thank
I
the
might be. I hope I'm not. But no, I don't think I'm being
You
hunted.
might be.
Anything's
You-
a possibility. I could be hunted down by the Golden Order's greatest. You could be too. Who knows? You don't know
Well,
you're
I mean,
hunted
that's
down
why
until
I'm
you're
asking
hunted
to
down.
your knowledge.
To my
That's what I'm-
knowledge,
Do
no.
you have reason to be hunted down right now?
No, I don't have any reason to be hunted down. I'm just asking if you knew the name. It's very simple. And since you don't, it's no problem.
But yeah, this is more my hobby than the other stuff. I can tell you more all the things about potions if you want, but she puts all her stuff away.
All right, what about you, Andros? What do you do?
Magic, music, and merriment.
Well, I'm familiar with the music and merriment. And the magic.
You've also seen my magic, or you would have seen my magic had you not popped the ever-smoking bottle in the middle of a closed room.
I've seen your magic. I play a little lute, but I can't necessarily heal people with it. It's over at the stables right now. It's with my horse. I don't have it on me.
Hmm.
Well, now that we have a load, what does the hammer do? And he's kind of like gesturing upstairs. He doesn't remember the name.
Is it?
Oswald.
Is
Oswald's
he
an
fixing
engineer.
the? Yeah, I
Engineer.
assume so. With the was it the
Yes,
pig?
he it's Boris, Boris the boar. He's a construct of sorts.
Mechanic, a construct. Okay.
Yes, well, I mean, he's a bit
It
more than
was.
your typical automaton. He's very well made.
It was mighty impressive.
Well, where is
Yes,
this
it's
Boris?
uh,
I didn't see him
he
when you
got
all appeared.
I did. He's dead.
yeah. Well, he can't really die. He's a machine.
When it gets slammed off the table by a fire giant, I assume it's dead.
Fire giant?
Oh right, we ran into the forge of Invaldi in the catacombs of Nerevar.
No.
I don't know why that was there. I don't know if that's part of the catacombs or if it went somewhere else. I'm just happy we're not
I'm happy we're not
in there
dead.
again. Yeah, that's a nice thing. However, speaking of catacombs, Andros, I do think we might have to, seek out your initial employer and tell them that putting out job requests like the one you were given is, well, on one hand, just unprofessional and very impolite. I mean, no
You can do like
names,
mini
no
job
descriptions, no last place seen. That's stupid.
they can do what many job employers before. They can just assume I'm dead if I don't answer.
Well, then maybe we should answer. Maybe we should show up and say,
Eh.
hey, we must stand around the catacombs for a couple of days trying to find these people for you. Would have really appreciated a bit more information.
Yeah.
Well, we have the bloody
Sometimes you have to pick your battles. That's not one that seems worth it.
I
At least
mean,
not
they
to
might be
me.
willing to partially compensate us. Look, spell scrolls turns out are quite pricey, and I don't have that much coin on me, and if they're willing to partially compensate us for this, I'm going to take those chances.
We're getting a job from Fellwinter in the next 2 days.
Yes. And
I
before that,
believe
we
we
have
will
to
be
pay.
financially fine.
And Reverence takes a look at the platter of everything. It takes like an obvious look around this establishment, and then thinks to himself, "Yeah, poor money issues."
I mean, I'm just saying that spell transcription is pricey. It's so stupid. I have to use special ink for it.
He's nodding. Okay. So we have the bloody chemist. That would be a terrifying nickname. The bloody chemist.
I don't really like that one.
Everybody
sounds
run
very
from the bloody. That sounds terrifying.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
Hey up, mate, there's a bloody chemist in the walls.
Oh god.
Well, and
Sounds
then
like
we
a
have
borderline
a
insult.
musician.
Yeah,
We have
I
a
really
researcher
meant
and
something
an
about that.
engineer. So a researcher and an engineer. Have you ever found anything on your research, like something that's completely your own? Like, have you made some crazy discovery through your research that hasn't been found out?
Yveld's eyes light up as Yveld retrieves this very thick journal
And silence
just
is cast on
flops
you.
it on the table as they open into one of the folds on the page, and then they start unfurling bits and pieces of paper that have been attached to these two pages, effectively forming this massive map that like sprawls downwards, falling off the table onto the seat and on their lap.
Best way to
And-
imagine it is Hiccup's map from How to Train Your Dragon 2, but much
And
much larger.
covered in interlinking spell sigils, notes, demonstrations of somatic component diagrams, and
Like
the
one of these
like.
days, you should make like some pop-up
I
like art
genuinely
for it.
might.
He's
Don't
very
tell me.
intrigued, and he's looking at this. All right, you're gonna have to run me
Don't
through
make
this.
heads or tails of this.
Oh,
None of you
let
can.
me- Zachary's just
This
looking it
is-
over. She's also very intrigued.
This is something I'm working on. It's well, it's a lot. And Yuval pulls out another notebook and says, "I've got the draft for the companion document here. It's also a work in progress. I don't have a name for it yet, but essentially it's well, I have a rather interesting experience with dreams and have figured out a way to bring portions of my dreams into reality.
And
Zachary
Reverence
gives a
halts
worried
for a
looking
moment.
say,
Reverence halts for a moment. Goes, wait a minute. Hold on. Have you ever had lilies before?
Sorry, what?
Dream lilies. They make you lucid dream.
I
It's a psychedelic. When you have a dream, you can control them. And if you can bring what's in a dream,
Oh, like move
It's
around
pretty
in the dreams and and control your body and your speech? I already do
You're
that.
practically conscious inside a dream. Yeah.
now, well, most people aren't.
I already do that. I
Zachary
it's
looks
more
slightly
about-
concerned with this stuff. She just
it's
looks.
more so about influencing my magic with my dreams. Because effectively, I mean, I'm certain we know of individuals with, well, intrinsic magical properties, sorcerers and the like, who can alter their magic slightly here and there. Kind of like that, except I think it's tied to the type of spells I use.
I have a
Oddly
feeling
enough, doesn't
magic
work on the more menial stuff. Which is unfortunate, but oh well. And Hmm?
Are you ever worried about what you might take out of your dream that might be bad?
No, because I know what I'm taking out of my dreams.
But what if you don't?
Well, I will. It kind of just
How-
points to the massive map. That's why this is a thing. It's my research. I know what I'm looking into.
Oh boy.
How are you so sure you know exactly what's coming in and out of your dreams?
Well, I mean, I don't have absolute certainty, but I have a decent enough grasp to know what I'm doing.
Especially when you're messing with all this culty stuff.
I'm not messing with cultist stuff. Yes, we were tracking
Imelda's
Luciana,
not
but
a
that's kind of
cultist.
Aren't
Yes,
you
please.
both messing with cultist stuff?
Yeah.
We were tracking Luciana. That's not messing with cultist stuff. Messing with cultist stuff is, oh, you know, worshipping the tarnished, all that. I don't do that.
Thoughts of lump transfigure into my mind.
Pretty sure
God.
Lump.
Fucking
I-
tarnished.
Lump is a tarnish.
He's not.
He's a god.
Is there anything anyone else wants to bring up before, as the conversation will continue and then eventually drift off? You go to bed. Is there anything anyone wants to bring up?
No.
Well, in the whole room situation,
Oh,
Usually-
right. Yes.
Initiative.
You can just come along with me, for the night, and we have Oswald and I have a room. There were 2 other people initially with us. They've departed.
They have
departed
vanished from the
in
material
a
plane.
very pleasant type of way, no? And he's
What do you
saying this
mean
with
by
that.
They're
At
not
one
dead.
point, we just noticed that they weren't with us, and we
Womp
kind of
womp.
looked around, but then they didn't show up, didn't leave any notes. I'm hoping they found their own paths leading God's know where, hopefully to better places, greener pastures. I don't know. I haven't seen them for a while now.
He's gonna look.
Point is, we
He's
stayed
gonna look
for a
over
room
to
for
Zachria.
4
That's a code
people.
word for dead.
I
They're not
don't
dead.
know if they're dead. I haven't
They're
seen
not
them
dead.
for almost a week now. Oops, sorry about my mic. I don't know if they're dead. Neither does Oswald. Honestly, at this point, we've shown that we were willing to stick with them. They weren't. They departed. It's not a code word for dead. It's a code word for they literally left.
Oh, seriously, you were part of a group and they just walked out on you?
Yeah, I met them the night before. They seemed a little
Goodness.
unfaithful.
Point is, we had don't call them that. That's just weird. Point is, we have a room for 4, and we're only using 2 of the sleeping areas and the bathtub. The bathtub's kind of off limits right now.
Why is your
Oswald-
bathtub off limits?
Because Oswald is regrowing Boris in there.
Well, he's a construct, isn't he? He's
Yes.
growing.
Yes.
Giving a concerned look, Zachria turns to Reverend, and if you need, my room is always open too. I don't know how much room is in there, but I'm always willing to share space.
It only takes a night. From
Will
what I've
I
gathered.
hear gasps of murder in there?
No. No murder, and also I will be keeping watch the entire night, so you don't have to worry about that.
Sure, Zachria, I'd like to go with you.
Just nods.
Admittedly, when you don't know a person and
Yeah,
they say, "I'm
that's-
going to be up the entire night,"
Like,
Yeah.
watching you. Well, in
Be
that
watching
case,
the entire night.
I'm going to be thrilled to be speaking with Hammer tomorrow. Yes,
Oswald, he has a name.
Yeah, do you have,
Oswald.
do you have a name
Oswald
for
I haven't heard it
nicknames?
yet. All right, I haven't heard it yet.
Have you-
Yes, I've said it multiple times.
Have you?
Yes.
Yes.
Just Oswald.
Do you have a thing for
I'm pretty
nicknames?
Just a,
What?
just a couple.
What? Why?
Okay.
So, eventually, as the night carries on, you all head up to your various rooms. Reverence, are you going into Oswald Neuveld's or Zychria's?
I don't want to be watched. Zacharias.
Okay. So, Neuveld, go into your room. Oswald, I do have a question. Have you been asleep this entire time? Did you go straight to sleep, or was it something you wanted to do?
It's been real difficult, I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah.
despite being haunted by the visions of Lump's return, he
80s
does
movie poster.
he does with
Keep
the
it
soothing
cannibal Lump.
of 450 platinum pieces eventually go to
Yes.
sleep.
Yeah. Listen. Nothing can harm you if you sleep on a bed of money.
Except for the back problems.
No. You can pay to get a new back.
That's
So.
true.
Andros goes to his room. Neuveld goes to her. What do you want?
I have one question. So, in regards to the Dreamscape spellbook, does copying down spells from my regular spellbook into my mental map count as
I'll get back to you after this session.
my
I
main?
don't know
No.
right now.
Okay, my main thing is that would I be able to do it as part of my long rest?
I will get back to you.
Okay, that's fair.
We're not going to be going to the next day right now,
Yeah,
so I'll get back to you.
that's all good. That's all good.
Okay.
Wait a minute, that's suspicious. We're not going to the next day. What's
Yeah,
happening?
hang on a sec.
You're sleeping and
Oh,
then
we're
we're
gonna get
ending
dream
this
sleepy.
No. So, as Reverence and Zychria enter into the lone room belonging to Felwinter, you enter into this, while spacious, certainly not made for common comfort. Off in the corner, there is what looks to be a bunk bed, complete with a ladder, and hanging off of it is a placard that is wrote, scrolled across it in very spidery handwriting, is a bed with a ladder. That's brilliant. The rest of the room itself, though, is taken up by numerous bookshelves, workbenches, and various scattered papers and what looks to be broken arcane foci and the like. The lighting of the room, where would be a chandelier, is instead winding branches that come from the four corners of the room, spiraling down into what appears to be like a crystallized dewdrop, which cascades. Just a very subtle yellowish light across the whole place. Seated on the table right below it is another play card which says, should you want the lights lower, say dim. Should you want them off, say on. And that's kind of the majority of the room.
Right. He's gonna take off his fencing cape, and then he kind of looks at his shirt that has like a lot of holes in it. One from like the claw mark from Luciana,
If you
kind of
want, I
ripping his
can.
shirt to shreds, and he's like, oh, whatever.
I can prestidigitation some dirt off it. I can't really mend the holes, but
Oh, dirt doesn't bother me. Holes do. I'm gonna attempt to find myself a cleaner tomorrow. I'm usually not this mucked up.
just nods.
Shit, I'm broke. I can sell some things. I have a couple of things lying around Nerevar.
That makes two of us.
The things lying around Nerevar or the broke?
Broke.
No, fair enough. But yeah, I did ask that question before. Are you sure you haven't heard the name Roland before? A mother mentioned it. A father mentioned it. Anything of the equivalent.
Again, I lived in a small town. We didn't really deal with too much of other places. It's probably not on most of the maps you have in your bag anyway.
He just shakes his head. Alrighty.
She gets out her bedroll, leaving the bed alone.
The cool bunk bed.
Is it a bunk bed or is there one bed?
It's a bunk bed.
Okay, that's different.
Why does Soldier have a
There's
bunk
two? Why
bed?
does he have
Yeah,
two?
why does he have a
Because
bunk bed?
Soldier wanted a fucking bunk
Mm.
bed.
It literally
Who's
says
bringing it in here?
no. It literally, says on the,
Christ.
it literally says on the bed, a bed with a ladder. That's just brilliant.
Okay, but is it like one of those bunk beds where it's just like the top bed and then there's an empty
That's a
bottom
cabin bed.
section?
That's a
I don't
loft.
fucking- Look, I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, it's an actual bunk bed. One bed, bed top of it.
Why does
ladder
it
to
have
go
a
up.
bunk?
She goes to look at some of the books. You think he'd mind me touching some of these?
Probably. I mean, probably not. He gave you the key to his room. Touch
Yeah.
everything here, and it might attack you, like the rug.
She hesitantly looks at the books.
Maybe
You
it's a
wouldn't
trick of
happen
the
to
light
know
when
any
you
other bluish
shuffle.
tieflings, do you?
Sorry, two people talked at once.
Go ahead, Willow.
Maybe it's a trick of the light. You swear one of them shuffles.
She just glances at their titles.
As you do so, Reverence, what did you want to say?
Well, you wouldn't happen to know any other bluish tieflings, would you?
Does she?
Felwinter.
Yeah, outside from
Yeah,
Felpinter.
Felwinter. I mean, you might have
That's
seen
around
one
it?
or two. You might have seen like a couple of tieflings here and there on your travels. Like it's not an uncommon thing, but like in terms of people you know, no, not really.
Nah, I need close people. I might have seen a few walking around. Tieflings aren't especially uncommon.
Alrighty.
Any particular
I'm
reason
looking for
why?
somebody.
Or...
That's. I'm looking for somebody, and I don't know what they look like yet.
Do you have a name? Was it the name you gave me? Or looking for a noble?
Not quite. Valarin would be a name to tie him to. Well, in short, I'm looking for somebody, don't know their name, I never met them. And Valarin should be the last name of their mother.
Yeah, I don't think I know anyone like that. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Just any interesting titles of those books?
I I need to actually roll a d100. Let's see what Felwinter's
Oceaneer's
investigative
guide
is.
to everything.
Well, no, that I need to roll a d100 to see
The
what
only
Felwinter's actually
book on
interested in
blood
this century.
magic on all of Kirkia Smar.
Oh boy.
Oh, you're not in luck here.
Wah.
Closest
What?
title you can find to interesting is the long forgotten stone colossi of the Drenson cluster.
Dang, Felwinter does not keep any porn in his office. Okay.
This
Now
isn't
we
his
know what.
office. This is his,
Oh, yeah.
essentially his villa or whatever. you wanna
Oh, yeah,
call
he
it.
Oh, yes.
It's his
Still.
villa to
It-
remain private. So if we look around some,
Where's
Maybe.
the smut DM?
Where's the
What?
smut?
Where's the
Where-
pool?
Where's
Okay,
Where-
fine.
Fine.
Zachary, roll me an investigation check. You asked.
Oh
me.
no! Oh no! We're about to see
He's
like
into some freaky mind flayer shit, I'll tell you
Yeah, that's
what.
what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably is.
a lump is the woman of his dreams.
No.
Lump is the woman of his dreams.
Zachary, what's the
24.
investigation check?
That is a 24.
24.
Actually, you needed a natural 20.
You find the porn.
Okay.
This is gonna be like some beginning of time porn. Also.
Tentacles everywhere.
So, I just need to roll for this one as well. Give me 1 second.
I'm hoping for some fucking Tusk love shit.
So,
Tentacle
there-
love.
you find 2 such volumes. One is simply titled "Hate Fucking the Aristocracy," and featured on the front is
Literally me.
the clasped hands of the emblem of the Golden Council.
Oh my.
And the second book, it's a little bit more on the trashy novel side. Storm Giants Howl, the Warden, and the Prisoner.
Oh my god.
There's.
Dude, no, you
It's a
open the
trashy
book,
romance
see,
novel.
No. When you open the book, it's all just like this poem in the realm where passion dwells, where desires cast its alluring spells. Let me weave a tale in verses bold of an intimate dance, a story
Well,
untold.
I
Okay, hang on.
actually, so Zachria, I actually have I'll give you the open. couple
I
lines.
actually have
I'll
Willow. Choose your
I'll
next
leave
words
your imagination.
carefully.
Oh,
Chat,
God.
So, as
Chat
you
GPT is
open the
open
book-
to a tab.
Oh no, it's not.
Nah, we'll just use that shit.
Now, as you open the book, as the shivering night yearned for delectable desires of those long since lost
Reverend
to
takes
the
his shirt off.
passages of time.
Oh my god.
Metallic bars
I'm
clank in the distance, forced with movement unheard of in this prison. Not with aggression, nay, with passion.
Takes his
Subtle
hand up.
grunts and slaps can be heard, sounding around
What?
the echoing walls of the Storm Giants Penitentiary.
It's a penitentiary. Why?
She's closing the book.
Hey, you found the smut.
She's
Every once in a while, a subtle moan can be heard from the Storm Giants Penitentiary.
closes the book, puts it back. Anything interesting on the floor? The weird fucking magic items or papers?
Reverend.
Sure.
She's literally just
Howl
looking
of
around the room.
damned, the 9 hells, devil, and demon. No, I'm kidding. Anything interesting on the floor? Honestly, no, not really.
Okay.
So,
She's just gonna
You-
take the bottom bunk and
gotcha. Reverend, do you take the top bunk, or are you sleeping on a bed mat?
I'll take the top bunk after grabbing a certain book. Nothing happens. He's just reading this shit enjoyably.
actually
Sure.
she's gonna take out some of her alchemy
wait.
supplies on the floor and do some stuff with that first.
But
Oh
and,
god, we need to know, does he grab hate fucking the aristocracy or Storm
Oh.
Giant's harem?
oh,
We
let me.
need to know.
Oh, this is hard. This is.
Grab
Short, you
both.
can
You
grab
can't grab
both. You have 2
I
hands.
grab both.
This is the first time I've been asked to make porn for my games unprompted.
So, you've had this shit prompted?
No comment.
Yeah, no, he goes up there and he's gonna read it while he sleeps, and through a you would see a almost like a subtle moonlight radiating from the top bunk somehow. You don't know. Which
He's
is his
reading the book.
nightlight. Which is his nightlight. I think Willow
He's
understands.
reading the book.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, he's reading the book.
You just see weird. You hear bubbling and weird glowing and see weird glowing colors from whoever just messing with their alchemy kit below.
He peeks over the edge. Why are you bubbling? Oh, it's not you. Back to reading.
Things are floating and like something's being stirred floating in the air, and she is working. She is focused. She is zoned out.
Eventually, you all
So, have you ever thought about joining a rebellion?
Regardless, you take a long rest and eventually do so.
Oh my god.
And
Long rest, here I come.
unbeknownst to our party, outside the walls of this place,
Called it.
hands twist and turn. Unbeknownst to our party, the warden of Storm Giant's Penitentiary has just returned
Oh
from
god.
Resurrect. Unbeknownst
Oh no, that
to
not
our
that
party,
guy.
Luciana sits in her cell, fiddling with a shoelace string.
Called it.
Unbeknownst to our party,
Oh.
things begin to escalate at World's End. But as you all long rest, that's where we'll end tonight's session,
Holy
and you can all
shit.
level up.
Oh my god.
I
Oh
haven't
my
been here
God.
for long, but I've leveled up from level 6 to level 7 to level 8. How? I don't know.
4 spells.
So,
Level
remember how we do
3
it? You can take the
spells.
average for health, or you can or roll and reroll once. So,
I'm taking the average.
Good
Mantle of